I'm Carl Reuter, and welcome to the Stony Brook Sports Report. We welcome in the athletic director here at Stony Brook University, and that's Jim Furyk. And Jim, thanks so much for taking time out of a busy schedule to join us once again. Let's go back and look at what happened in the springtime with both baseball and softball. You won the America East titles, and you traveled out to Arizona for the NCAA regionals. That was a big time here at the school, wasn't it?
Yeah, and our kids played tremendous out in Arizona. And ironically, the men went out one weekend. The next weekend we won in softball, and we got sent back out to Arizona State the following weekend. And on the women's side, softball, Arizona State went and won the national championship, and we played them the closest. It was a 1-0 game going into the last inning. We had kids on second and third with no outs, and we ended up losing in game. Our kids competed hard, and on the men's side, we gave Arizona State a scare as well. And so it's just a testament to the work that those coaches have done.
Big statement for what Matt Sank has done with the baseball, and Megan Bryan has done here with softball as well?
Absolutely. As you know, Matt Sank has won at Division III, Stony Brook Division II, and now Division I. And he can coach at any level and be successful. He understands the recruiting game. He gets tremendous players and makes them better. Megan, the same thing. She obviously they finished third in the regular season last year, and she got them hot late, and we have a terrific pitcher. We're excited about the next 2 years with Alyssa Strusenberg coming back for her junior and senior year.
Jim, having been a former collegiate athlete, I would imagine that it makes it easier for those two coaches to bring in the better players now because they see the success of programs, which translate into people saying, hey, you know what, that's the place to go.
Yeah, no doubt. I would use the term me being a former athlete loosely.
No, he was better than he was better than he's saying,
yeah.
But it does make it easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, success breeds success, and I think people want to be a part of a winning program, and you see that across on all levels. Even in the NFL with free agency, people want to play with winners, and the Yankees are a testament to that in Major League Baseball. You want to be a part of tradition, winning tradition, and certainly Coach Sank has done that. And as we start winning more championships, which we've done as you've outlined, we're getting better student athletes, and we're being able to choose who we want as opposed to them choosing us.
All right, we go from the spring and we continue the winning ways into the fall. Let's first start with cross country, bringing home 2 championships, and then we'll get into soccer making the finals as well. Start with the cross country.
Yeah, Andy Ronan's our men's women's cross country coach, and he won the title last year on the women's side. Went back and repeated this year, and he has ranked as high as 12th in the country at some point this year. And on the men's side, we have the top 2 finishers, which is the first time ever for the university, and we're very excited about them. And they're all back next year on the men's side. So he's building a dynasty, if you will, in cross country, and certainly people on the East Coast and nationally are taking notice. So we're very excited about our cross country and track programs.
And Sue Ryan, what she has done with soccer, taking the women all the way to the America East Championship, losing 2-1 to Boston, up in Boston, losing to Boston University. And Sue just completed, 24 years. She's done an outstanding job with the program.
Very proud of Sue. I mean, I'm very proud of Sue. Sue has evolved over the last 5 years and really turned that program around. And I think she's really changed and has evolved and been introspective about recruiting. And I think you'll see the talent with the Rookie of the Year in the league, and Colleen McKenna from Manorville, Long Island. And then we also had, obviously, the Goalie of the Year, Marissa Viola, who's a junior. Both are underclassmen coming back next year for sophomore and senior campaign, respectively. Sue's done a really nice job with that program, and so have her assistants, and we're very excited about the future of that program.
Got to be excited also about the football program, moved to the Big South this year. Big transition for the school. Scholarship football still not there at the full complement, but talk about the Big South and what it meant for Chuck Priori's team. Yeah,
at about 55 scholarships this year. We'll be at the maximum level next year at 63. We were 3-1 in our conference. We should be 3-1. We lost a game by 1 point at home a couple weeks ago to a very good Gardner-Webb team. And we're 1 point away from first place. So you can't really ask for much more than that. And what I think Chuck has done an unbelievable job coaching this year. And he went through a lot of adversity with his team and injuries this year. And he never once made an excuse, ever mentioned the injuries to his team. He just said we just got to continue to get better. And as you'll see now, we're getting kids back from injury. And now we're starting to play like the team we thought we'd be. And so I'm very excited about the direction he's taken that program, obviously.
And I think you'll be excited, too, about there's always optimism when you talk about basketball. Every coach is saying, you know what, it's going to be our year. But I really believe for the women this year with Michelle Cherry and for the men with Steve Peichel, I think there is excitement brewing, and especially playing in Pritchard. It's going to be a very intimate setting and a nice home court feel for it.
Without question. I'll just speak to Pritchard first. It's going to be an 1,800-seat arena. It's been renovated, a dramatic renovation. It will be a tremendous home court advantage. The former facility that we used to play in, the indoor sports complex, if you will, was cavernous, was cold, was like a warehouse, and the fans are so far away. Our fans are right on top of you now. Our band is right on top of you. We have 60 kids in a pep band now, 120 in a marching band. So it's going to be a tremendous home court advantage. And I just came from a meeting today about game atmosphere, and I want to make sure that our student body is as much a part of it as our team is. And so I encourage people to come check us out. The men's basketball this time of year, hope springs eternal. We're big. I can tell you what, we are bigger. We're more athletic. We have a point guard. We have guys that can make shots. We're deep. We'll be able to, I think, overcome some injuries and some other issues that inevitably pop up in every program. So Steve's done a terrific job. On the women's side, same thing. We're very young again. We play a lot of sophomores and freshmen in that program with Michelle in her second year. Coach Cherry is evolving into a pretty good program. So I'm excited about both of them as well.
All right, you mentioned coaches, and you had coaches that made national news, which always makes an athletic director and a university proud. Men's lacrosse coach Rick Soll was named the assistant coach for the U.S. national team. Let's talk about that before we go to tennis with Gary Glassman.
Yeah, Rick was fortunate enough to be asked by Coach Pressler, former coach at Duke University, now at Bryant University, to be his assistant on the national team, and that's an incredible statement about Rick and Coach Soll and the job he's done and his reputation and his career and the landmarks he's had in his career. So, and he'll do an amazing job for that program for USA Lacrosse. So we're very excited, very proud of him as he represents our university going forward.
And we mentioned Gary Glassman, the tennis coach for both the men and women's side here. He was appointed as the chair for the NCAA men's tennis subcommittee. What does that job entail, and how important now that the university has Gary representing it?
Yeah, it's a great publicity and great exposure for his program and for Stony Brook University. He's the chair of the national committee that basically is the selection of teams that get in at large. It's similar to the men's basketball you often hear about on maybe a less high profile scale. The men's tennis committee is what he's chairing, is similar. They bid, they seed teams, and then they also have the at-large teams. And so he's basically leading the charge of who gets in, who gets left out, and then where they go and play. So we're excited.
Jim, if you look at the future, look to the horizon, what do you see now as the future with Stony Brook Athletics? I mean, a lot has happened since you've taken over the job as the athletic director when you go to scholarships with football and all that. Yeah. Where do you see now the direction of the program continuing to skyrocket?
Yeah, I think we're in a really good place right now. I think that we've had, the last few years have been a dramatic transition in terms of adding scholarships. All of our women's sports are fully funded now, which is why you're seeing an uptick on all of our women's teams. So we're in the game now. Our facilities have been upgraded. I mean, from the academic center to Pritchard Gym to locker rooms. So I envision us to be not just competitive, but a real player, if you will, on the East Coast and nationally over the next few years.
And it's making, as we go back to recruiting again, it makes it easier on all these coaches. And your coaches, and no matter what the sport is, they're recruiting from all over the world.
I'm glad you said the world, not just, you know, we have 13 kids from California just on the football team alone, but we have kids from Germany, from Sweden, from Serbia. We have kids from all over the world. And that's Stony Brook. Stony Brook is a microcosm of New York City. It's a melting pot, a very diverse community, and so is our athletic department.
Jim Fiore, always a pleasure to speak with you, the athletic director here at Stony Brook University. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.
That's our show for today. We'll see you next time on the Stony Brook Sports Report.